Hey everybody, Neil with Aviator Q. Welcome back to another episode. On today's video we're going to be doing a Mexican favorite, carne asada. So sit back, relax, and welcome aboard. So carne asada is one of those Mexican favorites. It can be done with lots of different types of meat. It's usually done with flank steak or skirt steak. Sometimes you can get some thinly cut ribeye or thinly cut sirloin or something like that. Today we're going to be doing it with flank steak. Before you do all this, you want to marinate it at least an hour. If you got more than an hour, maybe 4, 5, 6 hours. So we're going to get together right now. We're going to get that marinade together. We got flank steak today. I'm going to show you getting the marinade together, and then we're just going to let it rest until we're ready to grill it. Alright, so our ingredients for today, obviously like I said, we're going to go with the flank steak. We're going to start off with half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of coarse ground pepper. We've got, I'm reading it here, that's why I'm kind of slow. 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, 1 cup chopped cilantro, about 4 cloves of minced garlic, a 1/3 cup of lime juice, about a 1/2 cup of orange juice, a 1/4 cup of oil. Now I'm using grapeseed oil. Anytime I'm not going to actually just use an oil for like a marinade or anything, I'm going to go with a cheaper one. I'm going to go with grapeseed. You guys can use olive oil if you got it. You can save yourself a little bit of money though. Go with a cheaper oil like cooking oil or grapeseed oil. And then this is about a 1/2 can of the Chipotle Peppers and Adobo sauce. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let me grab the can. You can find this in the Mexican aisle. It's just basically got some peppers that have been kind of seasoned, and it's got some adobo sauce in there. Kind of gives it a nice peppery kind of finish. The adobo sauce is going to add a little bit to the marinade. So to begin, we're just going to start adding everything into a plastic bag. That's where I'm going to marinate it in. I'm going to make myself a little space. Just going to add the lime juice, the orange juice, oil. Go with the chipotle peppers and adobo sauce, cilantro, vinegar, and see if we can do a dump of the salt, pepper, and garlic. Alright, once all that's in the bag, you can kind of give it a stir around with your fingers in there, or you can stick a spoon down in there. Once it's all mixed up, then it's ready for you to stick the meat down in there. Guys, one thing I wanted to show you before we stick the meat down in there. If you notice, flank steak, skirt steak, very defined grains. You can see the grains are running this way. When we go to cut this, we're going to want to cut it against the grain. If we went with the grain, it'd be a nice, chewy, not very pleasant bite. So just remember, we always cut across the grain once we have the finished product here. All right, and once we're ready for it, we're just going to put the flank steak down in here. Work it down in there, kind of work the marinade around a little bit. And we're just going to stick that back in the fridge. We'll flip it a couple times every hour or so, and then until we're ready to grill it. Alright, so our flank steak has been in that marinade now for about 5.5 hours. I just pulled it out of the fridge. You're going to kind of let it start to warm up just a little bit while we fire up the grill. Like I said, with the marinades, you need at least 1 hour. If you got 4 or 5, use 4 or 5, but you need at least a minimum of 1 hour. Alright, so we just dumped the coals out, tried to keep it on the back half of the grill. Alright guys, so today we're going to be using the ballistic griddle by Ballistic Barbecue. It's not designed to fit it's designed to work with the Craycourt cast iron grate system, but I'm going to use it with just the grate. And since I'm going to be cooking vegetables first, I'm going to spin it to where it's not so directly over the coals, because I'm going to cook the vegetables first. Then when I'm ready to cook the flank steak, I'll spin it back around directly over the coals. So I'm going to start with cooking the vegetables. Courtney was nice enough to give us a plate of already chopped vegetables. What we've got in there, we've got some white onion, red onion, a little bit of bell peppers, jalapeno, poblano, just a little bit of heat. I'm going to start by giving just a little bit of grapeseed oil over the griddle. And I'm just going to put these veggies on it, let it start sauteing. I'm going to go get a spatula and we'll just start letting that simmer. Once the onions come a little bit translucent, I'm just going to add a little bit of seasoning. This is just my Montreal chicken. Now let that, give it a little bit of seasoning. We'll let that sit on there another minute or two, give them a stir, and then they should be just to the point where they're starting to get kind of tender on us. Alright, now that those vegetables are starting to get soft on us, I'm going to pull them off. I just got a spatula and a bowl. We're going to set this off to the side. Now that the vegetables are cooked, I want to take that pan and I basically want to do a 180 on it. The coals are still on this back side, but I want this griddle screaming hot when I finally put that flank steak on it. Now it's been sitting under the grill, so it's been real hot. So I'm just going to take my charcoal stirrer and just an old pair of tongs, and I'm just going to try to rotate the handles of the grill, which are right there and there, and I'm just going to kind of, ooh, that's hot, walk it around. Alright, so you can see those coals are now directly over the griddle. Just give this straight some of this veggies off of it. I'm going to put the lid on it, allow that just to heat up a second. And I'm going to go get the steak. So this griddle's screaming hot. I'm just going to reach in here with some tongs and I'm going to grab the flank steak, and careful, just going fast. Now if you are doing this without a griddle, expect a flare up as soon as that oil hits. Might pour just a little bit of the juice on top of it to kind of simmer on it. Man, that smells delicious. I wish you guys could smell it. It's kind of sweet, kind of peppery. We're going to keep that lid covered. We're going to keep this covered for just a minute. We've got the Thermopin ready. We're just going to keep it cooking hot and fast, probably about 2-3 minutes. We'll flip it, kind of check the temperature. It's a real thin piece of steak on a real hot grill. Don't want it to get too overdone. Alright, it has been just about 2 minutes. You can see we're starting to get some cooking here. I'm going to go ahead and give her a flip. All the juice is cooking on it. We're going to go ahead and get it covered up. All right, we're at another 2.5 minutes. I'm gonna give it over, give it a flip. Now, because we're using the skillet, we're not getting any grill marks on it, and since we're keeping the juice on it, we're not getting too much of a Maillard reaction. But you can tell it's nice and tender. Give it a temp right here real fast, see where we're at. I show about 113 in the middle. Somewhere around 110 to 105. So right now we're at a pretty rare. Cover it up a little bit, keep the cooking going. And we're gonna aim for about 125 degrees. All right, so we just hit about 130 on the steak, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it off right now. We're gonna take it inside, we're gonna let it rest, and we're gonna cut it. All right, guys, so we just pulled that steak off. We let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. We're getting ready to cut into it. So let's go over to the cutting board, and we'll show you how we want to cut that up for a Carne Asada Taco. All right, so if you remember, and you can kind of see the grains running this way, so we basically want to cut against the grain for a nice, smooth chew. We're just going to start. Let me grab tongs. Let me grab the meat. We're just going to kind of cut against the grain there. So, you can see right there, got a nice little pink center. Could have been a little bit more medium, but the taste is amazing. You can really taste the citrus in it. That's really good. So from this point, we can really do a bunch of stuff with it. We can just kind of eat it as it is. We can make tacos out of it. You can put quesadilla into it. It's really kind of the sky's the limit, up to you. We're gonna build some tacos. We'll show you that here in a minute, but pretty much that's all it is to it. So again, just a quick recap. We took a flank steak. You can use flank steak, skirt steak. Some people use thin cut ribeye. We marinated that up. I'll put the full description of the marinade in the description on the video. Let that set for at least 1 hour. We did up to 5 hours. Cooks up some veggies, just sauteed some veggies on the ballistic griddle. Then we cooked it in the ballistic griddle. I wanted to kind of saute it in the juices. You can throw it straight on the grill if you don't have the griddle or anything. It all come out the same. Maybe even be a little bit prettier with a little bit better grill marks. But then we cooked it to about 125. There was a little bit of a thicker end, so the thinner end got a little cooked, got a little bit more well done on us. But we're just gonna make a taco out of it and enjoy it for supper. So here's our finished product. It's we built it up into a taco. Like I said, you can do anything really with it. You could eat it as it was. You could put it in a quesadilla. We put it up in the taco. We're gonna get this rolled up, eaten for supper, and enjoyed. So that's going to be a wrap for us today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Super easy video. Really easy to do, really easy to marinate. Fast grill, delicious, full flavor taste. Really hope you guys check this out. If you're new to the channel, appreciate you watching. Consider liking and subscribing if you like what you saw. And we'll see you next time on the next video here at Aviator Q. See ya.